I'm settling down. My text go to your screen, you know better than that. I come around when you least expect me. I'm sitting at the bar when your glass is empty. You thinking that the song's coming on.
What's going on, Clan fam? Back at it again with some more NBA 2K19 MyGM mode. So you guys voted in the poll, the straw poll that I put on my last video. Unfortunately, my last MyGM got corrupted. I can't move past, or I can't go any further for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if it's a 2K problem. I don't know if it's that save file. I'm really not sure what's going on. I did everything I could to make it work. It's just not going to. So I put up a straw poll, and you guys voted to see the saga continues again, but we're going to make different decisions, and I'm going to do a different expansion team and kind of tie it into a different story. We're going to do the Tex Towers story, but we're also going to, after the Tex Towers, all that stuff is done, we're going to do something a little different. So stay tuned, and let's get on into it. Ball State, you know the drill, number 69. And my dude still doesn't have any freaking hair. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Come on, 2K, get your stuff together. Gabe. Earth to Gabe, your eyes are looking glossier than the fish. Are you okay there, partner? Yeah, sorry, just thinking about the past. I can't believe we're here. On a boat? No, well, yes, I mean, the boat's a surprise to be sure, but looking back on the last few years, it's a bit surreal, you feel me? Well, I reckon that makes us a pair of peacocks, compadre. That's a perfect example. You see, I remember when we first met and you started saying stuff like that, I didn't know what to make of it. You were an unknown quantity, an alien, a stranger in a strange land. Breaking bread with someone that spent their entire life eating, sleeping, and breathing basketball. Look at this water. It's as if it isn't even water. It's just, it doesn't move. It's like a piece of wallpaper that just floats. But you know, I gotta say, your expressions, they've kind of grown on me, Tex. Hi, I knew you'd come around, son. Even though we might be different animals, we're the same beast. Check out my first video for that joke. You're welcome. Ha. Guess what I'm saying is the feeling's mutual, Gabe. From the first day we met, I felt like you and I were destined for greatness. Yeah, we're going to win a championship. I can feel it. Uh-huh. Scout's honor. Look, a man like me don't get as far as he does by skill, hard work, or talent alone. Look's a more powerful force than the clatter of Clydesdales, and from day one I could tell that you were someone special. I feel lucky to not only call you my GM, but my friend. I'm not your friend. I'm nobody's friend in this business. You can't have friends in this business. Well, thank you kindly, Tex. I guess that's partially why I'm sitting here thinking about the past. It seems almost unbelievable that after ending my career, tearing my ACL, my MCL, my PCL, all the CLs, you know, I was with the Mavs. I don't remember how many points I put up in my final game. You can go back and watch my other MyGM series on 2K18 to find out. Anyways, sorry for ranting there, Tex. It all looks easy at home, you know. You never think about the long deliberation that goes into making deals, how to properly handle the press, and don't even get me started on dealing with eccentric personalities. You talking about yours truly, or is that aimed towards one of them Sanderson fellas? Well, I didn't have anyone in particular in mind, but sure, let's go with Bob and Andrew. Speaking of, I never did hear what happened between you guys before we met. Ugh, it's a long story. Yeah, I reckon you've the right of it. Burning too much daylight for something like that. Okay, wise guy, if you absolutely insist, I guess I can fill you in. How much do you know? Just the bits and pieces I heard from the old TV. Bob bought the team, brought in Andrew, and y'all tried to play nice. Sounds good so far. Then Andrew started to get a bit too big for his britches, and Bob started to have a heavy hand in team affairs. I heard he made you try and get some Asian star to boost the value of the team. Not quite. The whiz kid Steven used some fancy math to show that good rookies are a good value. It was the old owner that demanded I get Vince Carter to boost the value of the team. Vince Carter, Tex? Look, Vince Hannity's thrown down the greatest dunks I've ever seen, and his veteran presence was immeasurable to the rookies. We had no idea what would actually boost the value of the franchise. Also, don't think you're getting away scot-free, Tex Towers. Trying to get someone to boost the team value sounds like an awful lot like something you would have done as well. You may have a point, though. You can't fault an owner for trying to protect his investments. Though, getting back to the story, thereabouts is where things get fuzzy. What happened next? Well, it went something like this. Uh-oh. Here we go. My bald-headed ass. Stone Cold Steve Austin. You piece of trash. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to stick with the same one on this because I want to find out who the snake was with that whole deliberation process in the conference room. So I fired the previous staff. We're going to work closely with Andrew. This did not happen in the last one, but we're doing different things here. After a starter showed up late to practice, Gabe punished them. Yes, I did, even though I actually didn't. But this is new. All new things here. Revealed the location. Gabe helped Bob stay owner and relocate and rebrand the team to the Seattle Supersonics. Sure. And I was, in 2K18, I was the Chicago Bulls. So that's what we're going to roll with. This team will relocate as the Seattle Supersonics, and the Bulls will disappear from the league. Continue. Yes. That's sad. I'm a huge Bulls fan, but it is what it is. Apologies if I'm being a bit abrupt here, gentlemen, but I appreciate that you're both extremely busy men, and I value your time immensely, so I'm going to jump right into things and make the introduction I promised you over the phone. Gabe, I'd like you to meet Tex Towers, one of my best friends in the entire world and an even better businessman. Texas is Gabe Horn, a close personal friend of mine and the best general manager in the NBA. Well, thanks, Bob. Nice to meet you, Mr. Towers. Pleasure's all mine, son. Please, Tex will do just fine. Alright, now here comes the fun part. This isn't official yet, so what I'm about to say stays in this room. Understood? Of course, Bob. Fantastic. Well, it won't be a secret for much longer, but the Board of Governors has voted unanimously to approve Texas' bid on one of the new expansion teams. Congratulations, Tex. That's a very exclusive club you just joined. Thanks you most kindly, Gabe. I'm right truly honored. Now, as someone who knows this business better than most, I'm sure you understand the scope of what Tex is about to take on, Gabe. He's got to build an entire organization from the ground up, put an infrastructure in place, make 1,000,001 decisions. Each one is as important as the next, no matter how small. Just like my mom always said, screws and skillets alone don't make a home. That's exactly right, Tex. Now, like I was saying, me and Tex here go way back. He's one of my very best friends in the entire world, and since he's got so much on his plate right now, I'd love to take a thing or two off. That's where you come in. I could beat around the bush a little bit, but you know that's not my style, so I'm just going to put... That's not your style. Okay, Bob. That is your style, though. So I'm just going to put it out there. I think it would be fantastic for everyone involved if you became Texas' new GM. Now, before you say anything, let me just assure you that Tex is one of the very best people you could ever hope to work for. He's not the NBA nut that I am, but he's as sharp and as fair as they come. That's awful kind of you, Bob. More importantly, he's incredibly excited about the challenge of building an organization from scratch, and I can assure you, when Tex Towers takes on the challenge, he succeeds. He's got one of the most innovative business minds of anyone I've ever met. Only thing is, he needs some help with the basketball side, and you and I both know that you're about as talented as they come in that department. All that being said, I want you to know that it would crush me to say goodbye to you. Genuinely, I mean that. I'd be crushed. But at the end of the day, I think this represents a game-changing opportunity for everyone involved. Tex gets one of the top men in the business, you get a chance to mold a roster completely in your image, and my boy Andrew gets to take the next step in his career as the GM of the Seattle Supersonics. Oh, kiss my ass. I know this is a lot at once, Gabe, but I really do think this is the best move for everyone involved. You don't have to give me an answer right this second, but talk me through your thought process. Where are you at right now? First of all, I'm flattered, Bob, and I can't say I'm not excited about the prospect of building a roster entirely with my guys, but you've got to understand, I'm fully invested here. I've poured a lot of myself into this job. You know that. Leaving now would feel like, I don't know. I want to say that leaving now would feel like a betrayal of my core principles. I've got unfinished business here. Completely understood. I wouldn't expect you to answer any other way, to be honest, but I've thought about every angle here, and what you've got a chance to accomplish with moving over to this new expansion team is historically unique. You'd be carving a place in history that no one else would occupy if you were able to transfer your success with our organization to success with Tex. It is an exciting opportunity, I can't deny that. You know what? I think I've done enough talking. Why don't I let your future boss get a few words in? That's mighty kind of you, Bob. Now, this here's a straight skip, Scout. Like Bob said, I'm a businessman. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the competitive aspect and the rigorous training required for all manner of sport. Last year's finals was a real hoot and a half, but I'm a businessman first and a fan second. I know Bob here's got the posters on his walls and the playing cards, but I'm more of into dollars and cents if you catch my drift. Loud and clear, Tex. No nonsense, I like that. Now, Bob over here says you're the best in the business when it comes to putting a quality product on the field of play, and if Bob says it, well, I reckon it must be true. And if that's true, that means you're one smart cookie. Are you a smart cookie, Gabe? You know what? I am. I graduated from Ball State University with a degree in finance and business administration, bitch. I like to think so. Confident, I like that too. Now, you being the smart cookie that you are, I'm sure you understand the magnitude of the opportunity you find in front of yourself. You wouldn't be fixing to turn down an opportunity of this magnitude, would you, Gabe? So what do you say? Are you as smart as you look? Are you ready to make me happier than a hog at a horse show? As long as Bob remains our ally, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to be a nice guy here. I'm going to be nice to Bob, and I'm going to be nice to Andrew, because I'm a good person. As long as we have Bob's blessing, nothing would make me happier, Gabe. This is really a tremendous opportunity for all of us. Well, then I'd be happy to. And hey, it can't hurt to have an ally like you going forward, Bob. +1 insight. I can dig it. Lunch with Tex. Thanks for breaking some bread with me, Gabe. I like to get to know my dance partner before we hit the floor. I'm right there with you, Tex. Peachy. Now let me ask you something. What do you reckon my aim is here? What do you think motivates me to do all this? I don't know if I can speak to your motivation per se, but if I had to guess, I'd say you're someone who likes to take on new challenges, someone who doesn't shy away from competition, and running an NBA franchise, well, that's just about as big a challenge as there is, and as competitive an industry as they come. That's mostly right, Gabe, but mostly only counts in horseshoes and hay piles. You're missing one key ingredient, the thing that makes the entire world go round. You know what that is? Why don't you tell me, sir? Please, call me Tex, but alright, if you want to play coy with me, I'll just come right out and say it. It's all about the money, Gabe. I want as many of those grade A Uncle Sam approved tamales as I can possibly get my mitts on. I like the game, alright. It's a fine game, but I want to impress upon you, in as concrete terms as I'm capable of, that this is a business venture for me, and I expect to make a pretty penny on this thing. It's no secret what NBA teams are going for these days, and it's only going up. If I understand my history right, the fellas in New York City haven't been a very good basketball team since the 1990s. Yet as venerable an institution as Forbes magazine says, they're worth $3.6 billion. I want a first-class seat on that gravy train, Gabe. We all need money. You're tootin' we do, and I intend on getting my fair shake. I don't know if you know this about me, Gabe, but I like to think big. This is about a whole lot more than a basketball team. I intend to set myself up a little kingdom. I'm talking about a total takeover of a downtown area. We're going to put those city slickers in Los Angeles to shame when we're done setting up shop. That's a lot of work, Tex. You got to get zoning ordinance changed. You got to buy property from entrenched owners. That's what I do. I make deals. I get things done, and I get them done Texas style. We're going to build up the land around the arena, turn it into the happening place to be, and I'm going to rake in all the profits hand over hand. Greedy much? Sounds like you got it all figured out then. I can't do it without the help of some mighty fine people, of course, and that's where you come in. From an operations perspective, I need you to help keep costs down as much as possible. I need you to keep our overhead at an absolute minimum. If we're going to make a good return on this thing, we got to do it the right way. The road to profitability is lined with fiscal prudence. Like my great-grandpappy used to say, you can't pluck a goose against the grain. You understand what I'm trying to tell you here, Gabe? Gabe, you alive over there? I went with you got it last time, so we're going to go with gotta spend money to make money. Listen, Tex, I'm sympathetic to what you're saying. Believe me, I am. But you brought me here because I know how to build a winner. Let me build this team how I see fit, and I guarantee you'll see a nice fat profit. Fatter than a hen at harvest time? Sure that. Sure that. That's how that was supposed to be right there. That's all I need to hear. Glad you see things my way, Gabe. NBA expansion press conference. I want to start by welcoming everyone in attendance today. This is truly an exciting day in the history of the Supersonics organization. Not just for me and for Gabe and the rest of the staff, but for the fans of the franchise as well. Speaking of Gabe, I'd like to begin this press conference by announcing that Gabe has agreed to assume the role of general manager for the expansion team being run by my good friend Thomas Towers, effective immediately and hopefully for quite a few years beyond that. Fingers crossed, Bob. I want to make it absolutely clear that this was done with my full blessing, and I'm truly happy for my good friend Gabe. He's done a remarkable job with the Sonics, and I'd like to sincerely thank him for that. We're in a better place now than where we started, and that's just about all you can ask from a GM. Continual organizational improvement. But now he has an opportunity that most GMs would kill for, and that's to build an organization from the ground up. He can put his fingerprint on that team in a way that frankly just isn't possible when you talk about an NBA franchise that's been around for any amount of time. So once again, I just want to say that I fully support this move, and I'm sure he's going to do a wonderful job over there with my good friend Tex. We wish them both the best of luck going forward, unless we meet in the playoffs. Now Gabe, starting on a new path leaves us with a vacancy of our own to fill. Luckily, we've got someone lined up who we think is going to do a terrific job. I'm beyond thrilled to announce the new general manager of the Seattle Supersonics is someone who you should all be familiar with by now. Yeah, you all should. He's a piece of... oh, never mind. My son, the young but extremely talented Andrew Sanderson. After working under the world-class tutelage of Gabe last year, coupled with his proven ability to make deals and scout talent, we feel like Andrew is ready to take on this new role, and we're 100% committed to his success, just as we were to Gabe's success. Alright, let's open the floor to questions. Nathan Melbourne. Gabe, hi. I'm wondering if you can start by just sharing your thoughts on these announcements. What do you think about Andrew replacing you as GM? I think Andrew's going to do a tremendous job. I really do. I wouldn't leave this position if I thought I was leaving Bob and the rest of the organization in a tough spot. But luckily, they've got one really sharp GM over here in Andrew. Having worked with him for quite some time now, I'm confident he's got the right makeup to get the job done. He's going to be just fantastic for this city, this team, and these fans. Plus one, compassion. I'm a compassionate guy. After the press conference, limousine. You want me to let you in on a little secret, Gabe? Is it still a secret if Bob and Andrew are here? You got me there, kid. Sharper than a rattlesnake with a razor blade. This one is. Anywho, you know by now that Bob recommended you for the job, of course, but what you might not know is that he's the one that taught me into this whole racket to begin with. If it weren't for a little bit of idle chit-chat on the back nine of Augusta last June, I might not have ever gotten into the basketball business. Is that right? Right as rain, fella. You know as well as I do that Bob's mighty persuasive once he sets to yammering about something, and he did an absolutely bang-up job on selling me on the future of this here league. Don't give me too much credit, Tex. The league sells itself if you've got your head screwed on straight. That's exactly the kind of charm I'm talking about. Now, at this point, you might be thinking that the time for collaboration with old Bob here is over. We've got our separate teams and we go our separate ways, but the way I see it, I think we might be able to come to some sort of an arrangement that could be advantageous to the whole lot of us. Mind if I jump in here for a minute, Tex? House Bullfrog gets the girl. Right. Well, you've known me for a long time now, Gabe, and I think you know that I'm a man who likes to maximize his advantages and minimize his disadvantages. It's an approach that applies to business just as much as it applies to basketball. Losing you, that's a big disadvantage, one that I like to minimize. But there's another way to look at it, which is that you're working with our good friend Tex could lead to major advantages for everyone involved. I'm actually really excited about the opportunity this presents. I'm listening. It's no secret that you and Andrew got along exceedingly well in the past, and I see no reason why that can't continue into the future. What I'm proposing is, in essence, a strategic alliance. Like I said, it'll hurt to lose you, that's undeniable. But if we act with our two best interests in mind whenever possible, it'll really help us get a leg up on the competition in the league, where everyone sees everyone else as the enemy. Rightfully so, but still. He's 100% right, Gabe, and I've got to say, I'm really pumped about the opportunity. I think we could do some totally sick stuff together if we go about it the right way. So what do you think? You want to keep a good thing going? Sure, Andrew. Anything for you, dude. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Our partnership has gotten us this far, and I see no reason to stop it now. Plus one, compassion. Pro-Am Arena. Talk turkey with me, Gabe. Who do we got our eyes on for this 2K what's-a-doozy? The 2K Hoop Summit? That's right. Who's the big hombre on campus? Not every cowboy can ride the bull, I take it. You're not 100% caught up on your scouting reports, Tex? Shame on you. Not as of yet, I'm afraid. A man in my position only has so much time, and the rooster crows whether or not the mule's at the tail. I'm just messing with you, Tex. It's my job to keep track of this stuff, not yours. But since you're asking, let me get you up to speed. I'll give you a quick rundown on the top 8 players in the draft so you can sound like you know what you're talking about when you're with your golfing buddies. I prefer fly fishing, but that would be mighty kind of you. Now, right at the very top, you got Luka Doncic, Slovenian point guard in a small forward's body. Preternatural feel for the game, plays in the most competitive league outside the NBA, and is going to do things that nobody's done in the league at his age. Not the most explosive athlete in the world, but some players just have it, and this kid's got it. If you watch him play, you'd think he's a seasoned vet, not a 19-year-old, which is what he is. Jaren Jackson out of Michigan State, 6'10", with a 7'4" wingspan, and has all the tools you'd want out of a modern big. Very young for his class, has a lot of room to grow, but has the look of a top-flight small ball 5 with his playmaking, shooting, and versatile defense. After that, you've got some combination of DeAndre Ayton, Michael Porter, and Trae Young. You like wings, bigs, or guards? I like my wings from Buffalo and my guards burly. I can see I'm driving the bus here. That you most definitely are, Gabe. Let's talk about Trae Young. How about we not talk about Trae Young, okay? Because I'm not going to draft him. I'm not going to waste my time drafting. I'm not going to waste my time talking about Trae Young. He's overrated. He's not going to do anything in the NBA. It's going to be a bust. Yeah. Got DeAndre Ayton, who some people see as the top prospect. I like Jackson better, but Ayton is a physical freak. Think David Robinson or Dwight Howard. Built like the Terminator, but light on his feet. He has a full array of post moves, passes well with a double team, jumps out of the gym, and finishes with power. Will his post-game work in some of the more progressive offenses where post play has been de-emphasized? Rounding out the top 5, we've got Michael Porter Jr. coming into this year. He was considered a possible #1 pick, but he hurt his back and barely played at misery. I'm not even going to talk about him, man. I'm not even going to talk about Michael Porter Jr. I'm not drafting him. Yeah, give me a couple more. I'm feeling mentally spry. All right, let's talk about Marvin Bagley out of Duke. Athletic freak, fluid, explosive, can leap with the best of them. Kind of like an Amari Stoudemire. I don't want to draft an Amari Stoudemire. I'm sorry, I don't. Some people like his teammate Wendell Carter Jr. even more. Just a really well-rounded player, 6'10". Isn't necessarily an impressive athlete, but like Doncic, the kid knows how to play. Does a little bit of everything and does it all pretty well. Finally, you've got Mikal Bridges, a 3-and-D wing out of Villanova. A 3D wing like that there, IMAX. 3 and D means he specializes in three-point shooting and playing lockdown defense. Much obliged. He's a polarizing pick. Most people don't see him as a star, but his boosters think he's the kind of guy who can take a team with an already established star to the next level. Has the ability to guard 1 through 3 and knock down outside shots in a variety of situations. Catch and shoot, off the dribble, coming around screens. He's a good place to stop for now, actually, because after him it starts to get a little murky, but I tend to side with people who put him in the upper tier. He's a little older than some of these guys, but he improves every year, and I think he'll keep at it. What do you need to be sure about someone like Mikal? I want to make sure you have every advantage. A head scout to start. Have you made any progress there? That's all you, son. Like I said, I'm staying out of basketball affairs. Carve some time out when you get back from the 2K Hoop Summit to round out your staff. You have my blessing to pursue whomever you see is most fit. Sounds good to me. I'll get right on that as soon as I'm back. You ever heard the expression, you can't put the cart before the horse, Gabe? Of course, Tex. That's not just a Texas thing. Fantastic. Then you won't find it peculiar that I'm starting to get mighty antsy about not having a home for our team yet. It would be strange to start a season without a home, wouldn't it? I reckon it'd be damn near unprecedented. I'm working on it, Tex, but I'm sure you understand the magnitude of the decision to be made here. There are an unbelievable number of factors to consider, and I've got to do my due diligence. That may be, Gabe, that may be, but I'd like to impress upon you one more time the importance of setting us up right smack dab in the middle of a big old honk of metropolitan downtown. Somewhere we can benefit from the business already in the area, and where we can build up our own holdings and benefit off the business our organization will bring to the situation. That ought to boil down the stew quite a bit, wouldn't you say? I respect where you're coming from, Tex, I really do, but the only thing I care about, the only thing you hire me to do is to build the best basketball team that I can. You're the money man. I get that, and I respect that. But you brought me here because you wanted the best. You wanted a winner. If you leave the choice to me 100%, I'm going to make a decision about our future location based on that criteria alone. +1 boldness. Dinner with Andrew. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And I will see you on another time. Peace.
You fucker!